Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 1 through 27. Now, leprosy is a lot like AIDS. Sometimes people want to stay away from you. They're afraid they're going to get it as soon as they touch it. And it was custom, part of their law was for the leprosy people to be placed outside of the cities, outside of camps, and they were to yell, "I'm a leprosy, I'm a leprosy," so that the people would know to stay away from them. And this was an incurable disease, and many times it was very painful and it ended in death. Now, Naaman was still able to hold his post, his position in the army. So maybe he had a very mild case of leprosy. Maybe it was just the starting of this disease. Now, Syria was northeast of Israel, and they were a growing power. So it was very common for them to do small raids on Israel and capture a handful of their people and take them back to their town and treat them as servants. Now, we don't know the name of this young girl that was placed into Naaman's house, but we do know that she had faith in God because she had told them that there is a man of God in Israel and he can heal my master's husband. Now, we may sometimes be in a place of life that we feel like life is kicking our butt, that we are in positions that we don't want to be in, and we don't fully understand it. But that is when sometimes our faith is tested. We may be put in certain places and certain positions at certain times so that God could use us and guide us to help bring other people to Him. Now, we know that the king of Syria had sent all this money and merchants to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel had thought, well, I'm not God. I can't heal people. I can't give them life and death. So he's just trying to look for a way to attack us another time. And the point is both of these kings had missed the main point here. You could not buy God's love or his protection or his power. And God uses people in certain places to let them know how powerful he is. Elijah knew who God was. Elijah knew that God would be able to heal him. And this would be a way for people in other countries and villages would know that there was a God in Israel and that he was very powerful. And, even though Nimrod wanted to offer money to the king and then even to Elijah after he healed him, money is nothing to God. He says that heaven is paved with streets of gold and pearly gates. So how can we beat that? How can we try to measure up to that? Now, when Elijah comes on the scene, he lets us know that he is a man of God and he is doing what he says. Now, Nimrod was a very honorable man in his country, and he became very angry when Elijah would not come out to greet him. He sent his servant, and then of all things, he wanted him to bathe himself in the Jordan. Now, Nimrod wanted something big and something great to happen in his life in order for him to be healed. He was missing the whole concept of how powerful God is and how God works in small, still, simple things. We know that Elijah was looking for God, and he wasn't in the earthquake, he wasn't in the fire, he wasn't in the strong wind, but he was in the silent, still breeze. That's when he heard the voice of God. And a lot of times in our life, sometimes we're like that too. We get caught up in our emotions and what things are going on. And sometimes we want something big to happen in our life. Maybe we want to be on center stage so that everybody can see us and see what God is doing in us. But sometimes we have to take a step back and realize that God uses us sometimes in a smaller position. Sometimes we have to start reaching out to one or two people, a handful of people, and then eventually you might get invited to a conference of some sort and speak to a group of people. But the point is we have to build on our faith. We have to build on our strengths and our structures of teaching other people about God. Now, God is so amazing, and if we do not take time out of our busy lives to listen to God, then we're not going to know what He needs or what He's asking of us to do in our lives. I would say I would want to challenge every single one of you guys to start where you're at. Take 5 minutes of just being silent so that you can listen to God and what He has to say for you. And 5 minutes is no time at all, but you need to build yourself up to a whole hour, because if you have an hour to just sit with God and be quiet and listen to what He has for you, then amazing things will happen in your life. But if all you do is you sit there and say, okay, this is my time with God. Okay, let me complain about my husband. Let me complain about my child. Let me complain about my job. Let me complain about my church and whatever else it is that you want to complain about in your life. If you're spending this time with God, telling Him all the things that you want and all the people that have done you wrong, then you're missing the point of what He wants you to do. You need to sit in silence and listen to what God is trying to say to you, because God's thoughts and His ways are so much higher than our thoughts and our ways. And that's in Matthew 6:24. But God needs time with us, and we have to make a designated time with Him. We can't just say, oh, I'll fit you in wherever you fit in. No, make time. Schedule it into your schedule, just like you do your job, your kids' activities, special events that you have going on. You're going to put it on the calendar, and you're going to make sure that you're there. So put that on your calendar to have time with God daily. And then we also see that the servant of Elijah was very greedy and stingy. He wanted to get what Nimbah had offered him. Now, he was thinking of the clothes and the money and all this other stuff. And Elijah was trying to say it was not time to do that, because he was saying you cannot buy God's healing. You have to have faith. The faith in Jesus is what saves us, not what is in our bank account. We have to be true servants that are motivated by love and dedicated to God and His word so that He can use us in powerful ways. Now, it also tells us that we will have to pick our God, our master. We cannot serve two masters. So are you going to serve God or are you going to serve money? And we need to make sure that we pick very wisely on who our master is going to be. May God be with you in everything and every way.